I feel that the outlaw mythology in America is something that's very intrinsic to American culture, and it's something that's very fascinating because it's strange to idolize people who are on the wrong side of the law, but indeed that happens in America. It's been happening since America was founded, and it's intrinsic to the culture, and I really love how that has affected storytelling in America and folk traditions over the past 100, 200 years. And I wanted to tell a film that sort of resonated with those themes and those ideas and sort of subverted them in a little bit of an interesting way, hopefully. I wanted to do something that was classic and old-fashioned in the best sense of the world. I really looked at a lot of older films and tried to, I feel like the filmmaking itself is very old-fashioned, and we tried to make it feel as classic as possible through using old lights, the way we shot it, the compositions. We wanted to have a very classical structure, and then make it feel new and fresh through the editing and the montage, and keep it feeling. That's where the modernity comes in. But all of the the actual production, we were always thinking, how do we make this look as old as possible? I feel a strong kinship to Jeff and his work, and I love what he's doing, and also directors like David Gordon Green and all these filmmakers who are making strong American films in a classic model. Like I admire that and aspire to do that myself, because it is those films last. My goal is to make films that last, and I feel that all of the work in that vein that's being made these days is really going to endure and prove to be classics in their own right. And I hope that I can make films that survive in the same way. Particularly in this film, Robert Altman was a huge influence. I love McCabe and Mrs. Miller quite a bit. That's one of my very favorite films. Monty Hellman, who made Two-Lane Blacktop, is another director who, he hasn't done as many well-known films as Altman, but Two-Lane Blacktop, I think, is one of the seminal works of American independent cinema. And those two directors were massively influential on how I approached this storytelling. But then you go back to directors like John Ford, who have a simplicity to them and a clarity to their work that really influenced me as well. I always tried to think about how would someone in the 40s frame a shot, or how would they handle this scene, and trying to just keep that incredibly precise visual simplicity that was so clear and so perfect in those works, and try to keep that in mind at all times. I love nature, and I love the feel of being able to look out a window and see an impressive landscape. And I like to have it framed that way. I don't like to go live out there, but I like what it can do to an image and what it can do to a story. And I live in Texas, and the landscape there is something that's very close to my heart. And I love when you can tell a very intimate and personal story, but set against a wide, expansive landscape, how you can make the most minute and intimate interactions feel as epic as a giant, David Lean film. And that's what I think the Texas landscape provides the story, and why I love shooting there.